Hey everybody, Brian here with Nutrition First Coaching, and in today's video, we're going to cover the basics of nutrition timing or nutrient timing centered around performance. So we're going to talk about it in regards to going for a run, lifting weights, going mountain biking, something where you're asking your body to perform. We'll talk about that early meal, that immediately before, if necessary, meal, and that post-workout or recovery meal. We'll get into some gram ranges of what you need of each macronutrient and try to give you some basics about what to do with your nutrient timing. So let's get into the video. Nutrient Timing 101. Let's call this the basics of nutrient timing. So this is that minutia of you have everything else, quality, quantity dialed in, you're hitting the right macronutrients within your quantity of foods you're eating, and now you're looking to improve your performance. So you want to know what is timing of your nutrients and when you eat, specifically related to when you're going to exercise or ask your body to perform. What does that have to do with the overall output or how well you perform in whatever you're doing? So this first part, I'm going to talk about the early pre-workout meal. So I would say this is at least 2 hours. Some people say 90 minutes, but this depends on how you digest, up to like 4 hours before your workout or your event, your race, so forth. What we're looking for here is a decent amount of protein. I put kind of like if you're a smaller person, 100 to 125 pounds, you're on that low end of how much protein you probably need. But if you're a bigger person, now you're in the 200 plus pound range, you probably need up to like maybe 50 grams of protein. This is really dependent on what your calorie kind of allotment for the day. So your calorie budget is what I like to call it. And how much protein you need and what you've done with your other meals and what you have going on that day in terms of length, intensity, kind of all those things related to working out and what you're doing. Now we're looking at carbs. This is our body's main fuel source. So here we're going about a 2 to 3 to 1 ratio. So if you're on that low end, now you're at 60 carbs. If you had 20 grams of protein, if you're at 50 grams of protein, so on that higher end, now you're at 3 or 4 to 1 carbs, up to 200 grams of carbs to protein. So these are the two big important ones here, but we're gonna get a little bit of fat in. I usually tell people, less than 15 grams, 5 to 10. These are the good healthy fats that probably come with your protein. Maybe they flavor your carbs a little bit. We can have a little bit of that at this point, and that also depends how far out you are in terms of when you're going to do the event, because fat is going to slow the digestive process. So we don't want to eat 25 or 30 grams of fat 2 hours away, and we're still in the middle of digestion whenever we're trying to start the event. So right before we're going to start the event, I call this the immediate pre-workout. So this is less than 30 minutes. Maybe you had this nice big early meal, but you have a big event you're doing. This could be get in a little bit more carbs and a little bit more protein. Maybe you didn't plan so well and this early meal didn't really happen that effectively, so you need to get something in. This is where I would say on the low end, you're at 15 grams or so, up to about 25 grams of protein. Just kind of depends on gastrointestinal tolerance and digestibility. Then carbs, you're gonna go roughly in that 2 to 1 range of carbs to what you just got for protein. These need to be fast digesting. This is one of the few times you're gonna hear me say, eat something processed, eat a really simple food that's already kind of pre-broken down for you. Some of your packaged stuff, some of your shakes or liquefied things, and then even like your really easily digestible fruits like bananas. Those are easy to mash down and digest quickly. Fat, we want basically nothing. I put up to 5 grams, but that may even be pushing it depending on your digestibility. 0 is probably ideal at this point because we don't want anything slowing down those nutrients getting into our system, getting out of our stomach. So now we finished our workout. Depending on the intensity and the duration of the workout and even what we did in the workout, this is where things can vary a little bit. This should be a beautiful meal. Within 90 minutes, that's kind of the magic window. Your body's ready to receive a bunch of nutrients, refill muscle glycogen, try to delay some of that breakdown of the muscle, try to start the repair process of all the muscles. So this is going to take us out of what's called a catabolic state, where our body's kind of breaking stuff down from the stress of the activity, and try to put us back in that anabolic state where we're building some stuff back up. Post-workout protein is going to be 25-ish grams if you're a small person, depending on your calorie budget for the day, up to maybe 60 grams. Shoot, I've gone up to 80 or 90 with like a meal, and then a little kind of post-meal 20 or 30 minutes later with a little bit of protein and carbs with it. So this is going to be a big one in terms of how many grams of protein you're getting, and then we're going to triple or quadruple the amount of carbohydrates here. And this is where you can get some more of those simple carbs in again. Sweet potatoes are good, rices are good, things that digest pretty quickly, and you get a bunch of carbohydrates out of them, pretty dense carbohydrates. We're gonna go 50 grams up to 200 plus, depending on your calorie allotment, or if you have another event or something you're doing later that day that's gonna require a bunch of energy as well. This is where we need to boost those glycogen stores back up. And this is where we can get a little bit of fat in, 10 grams or less. This is because we want that protein and carbs to get into the system quickly. And again, we don't want that digested process slowed down tremendously from the fat, and get it, what we call gastric emptying will slow significantly if there's a lot of fat associated with the meal too. And we didn't even touch on like the around workout meals. So this is 4+ hours away. How beautiful that should look. That's where your fats will come in a lot more. Carbs and protein will be a little more balanced depending on how you allot your calories for the day. But this is just the basics of how to time your nutrients around your foods. And again, this is the 5 to maybe 10% total of the 100% of what you need to do, and the other 90 to 95 being that quality of food, getting the quantities right, and getting the macronutrients dialed in within those quantities. So take this, put it together a little bit, see if you play with some of this stuff, if you're in this realm of getting the right amounts of these different macros and these total calories around the workouts and some of the timing that goes with it. See how your stomach digests things and how you feel, especially when and what time of day you work out. That makes a big deal too. Frequency of workouts throughout the week. Take all that stuff into account. If you want a little bit of help from a coach, give us a call. We do a free discovery call. If you like videos like this, like and subscribe to us. Keep trying to pump out some good information. Keep all the crap on the internet away. Try to do stuff that's backed by science and has some applicable use. All right, have a good week, and I'll talk to you soon.